Not Too Late at 58, the podcast for those of a certain age who say, yes, why not? Hello and welcome to this podcast series called Not Too Late at 58, to start your own business. I'm Annie Weir and I turned a lifetime dream into a reality when I was 58, when I finished and published my first novel. So I'm living proof that it is not too late at 58. Hence the name and hence my new passion to help other people of a certain age to achieve their ambitions. And just a couple of things to make clear. You don't actually need to be 58, of course. You don't actually need to want to write a novel, although it is the ambition of a lot of people, and I will tackle that in a future series of podcasts. And many people I speak to say they wish they'd started their own business when they were younger. And I say, well, why not do it now? It's not too late at 58 to start your own business. This series of 10 episodes will address some aspects of starting your own business. And future series, as I say, will include novel writing, business book writing, and getting your training sessions online. So if you'd like to know more about me and Not Too Late at 58, just hop back to the first episode of the first series. This episode is called Marketing Your Business. My business startup clients often come to meetings with me with a clear idea of how and where they're going to advertise, which is what they think marketing is. And they have a list like leaflet drop, flyers, local paper advertising, Facebook, for example. And when I ask them what market research supports these ideas, they often haven't done any. So a good place to start is to do some research about the places where you believe your future customers are and see what you can find out about them. It'll save you time and money in the long run. And ideally, before you start advertising as well, you will have done some market research to be as sure as you can be that you will have enough customers to sustain your business. And we'll talk about that today. It doesn't have to be difficult to do the research. You will have done a positioning statement to use in your marketing, and we'll cover that on the online course. You will have a marketing plan in place and ready to use, so you won't constantly be thinking, well, what shall I try now? And again, we cover that in detail on the online course. So you've already done a lot of background work if you've listened to the first podcasts in this series. You've got clear on your motivations. You've checked your business idea against your strengths and your passions. You've converted the features of your product and service into the benefits that your purchaser will get from them. You will have defined your ideal client or your ideal customer. And you will have carried out a competitor analysis and established your USP, your unique selling point. And we did that in the last episode. So now you can plan the ways in which you're going to market your business. And to me, the best thing about planning and committing a plan to paper or computer is that you don't have to think all the time about what to do next. I also think it's important to build in some rewards for yourself on completion of your plan, but we'll come back to that another time. So one thing you do need to know is that any things actually have a massively higher chance of succeeding if they're written down and monitored. And you may have heard some of the expressions like, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. If you don't make a plan to achieve something, it doesn't matter what you do or what you achieve. And one of my favourites is what gets monitored gets done. Now, working for yourself and often by yourself, you'll find that there is no one to monitor you or hold you to account. So it's important to put your own systems in place and ones that will work for you. And doing market research is one of those things. Your market research aim is to find out whether your potential customers will buy your product or service at the price you are selling it at, and also how many they're likely to buy. So consider some of the following ways you can do this, and maybe make some notes about the ones you try under the headings below. And there's a document as well that you can download below this podcast. So there's social media, of course. So on Facebook, you can look into what groups there are that are interested in your product or service. Have a look at them, see what they're talking about, join in the discussion, and ask the questions you need answered before you proceed. And you can do the same on LinkedIn and on Twitter. And on Twitter as well, key in hashtag then your product name or service and see if anyone else is using it. Any other platforms relevant to your type of product and service, such as Instagram and Pinterest, might be useful, especially if what you're selling is visual. And some social media platforms offer the chance for you to do a poll about an aspect of your business. This is quick, it's easy, it's free, and it gives you the chance to ask your potential customers questions about their preferences, about what you're going to be offering. So that's social media. So you could do a questionnaire in a time-honoured way. It can be effective, but I would really recommend you keep it to a small number of questions and ideally try getting it down to only 3 questions to get the best response. And you can do this online or in person in the street or at events that are suitable. Publications on areas of interest. If you're selling wetsuits, for example, buy some magazines on surfing or sailing. Have a look online. Again, it will give you an idea of what people want and what they're buying and what they're saying about their buying. Census information often gets overlooked. I entered demographics of Cumbria into a search engine just now and got lots of information about how the population is made up and where they live, etc. This is important if you're reliant on footfall or if you're targeting particular age groups. You can get loads of information about that from the census. And simply talking to people. People love to be asked their opinion and are generally happy to give it. But a word of caution here, don't filter out the comments you don't like. Be prepared to rethink some aspects of your plan if necessary. So I wonder what you've already done or what else you've done or you're planning to do to find out about your potential customers and what they want and how much they're prepared to pay. These things form an important part of your marketing plan. And a quick note, I have actually reduced the cost of Not Too Late at 58, the online courses, to under £50 and the cost of the books to under £8. So it's 5 and 8. Yeah, see what I did there. The reason I've done this really is just because I want to get it out to as many people as I possibly can, obviously without being out of pocket. And this means that if you sign up for Not Too Late at 58 to start your own business, it will now cost only £47, or you can buy it module by module for £5.80 per module. In the online course, we go into more depth about what I've covered in the podcasts, and there are loads of useful downloads for you. So let me know which payment route you'd prefer. Modules 1 and 11 are free as they're the introduction and the summary modules. So I'd love you to post on the Facebook group what you found out about your research. And in the next episode, I'll help you define some specific, measurable, achievable, relevant and time-bound, in other words, smart, business objectives. So thanks for listening today, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.